Hey everyone, welcome to The Pulse. Tonight we're going to be talking about the first anti-trans bill that's been introduced this session. It was introduced about an hour ago from time of recording by Representative Bill Tveit. It is going to be House Bill 1144. Let's talk about it. This bill's primary sponsor is Bill Tveit, who is a fairly interesting representative. Now, they introduced a bill in 2021, basically dubbed the ivermectin bill, where they attempted to get this experimental medicine allowed for individuals to take, specifically quoting a story about their wife having COVID and wanting to give her anything that they thought might help. That was one of the things they did during our special session in 2021. In 2023, they introduced a bill banning medical care for trans individuals, which the organization Gender Justice is still currently fighting. It's worth understanding hormone care for trans individuals is medically necessary and supported by all of our major medical associations. In 2023, he voted against LG+ rights in every bill that we tracked for LG+ individuals at every opportunity. He was one of the very rare individuals who has a 100% rate for voting against LG+ vote. He was also one of the co-sponsors for the anti-drag bill that was introduced in 2023. I'll have links to all that stuff in my Pulse if you want to check all of that out. But that brings us to 2025, where he has introduced House Bill 1144, which is an extension of House Bill 1526 of 2023, it looks like. What it does is it effectively makes it so you cannot give explicit or implicit instructions on pronoun use one way or another for the students. If you do, the Attorney General can investigate a school. They can give you a fine of up to, I think, $1,500, if I'm remembering that correctly, and tell you to stop doing it. It's interesting that the Attorney General is given this power, given that our Attorney General is recently in hot water for taking on something like 48 national lawsuits, declaring that it is in North Dakota's interest to do so. But it is interesting that our state has continued to put more power to our Attorney General to effectively uphold some of these culture bills that we see go through our sessions. Another interesting thing about this bill is that it will prohibit gender-neutral locker rooms in restrooms from being multi-stalled. Now, this is strange because that's not how it works. I believe this might be because of a story that came out of Devil's Lake in November, where there is a confused woman who is afraid of unisex bathrooms for no particular reason. They, I think, believed it was just open toilets or something. It was really unclear what their complaints were because it was addressing a school that had unisex bathrooms that were just single occupation bathrooms. It wasn't multi-stalled. So they increase privacy, they increase security. They are a good direction for schools to go into, not even trans kids related. They're just good bathrooms to have for a lot of reasons. Otherwise, it's unclear why we would have a bill like this. It makes sense that they want to put more teeth into the anti-trans part of that language and to assure that there is no implicit instructions to make sure that kids are feeling safe in the school systems. One thing I want to point out about the story is that in the 2025 State of the State report, when we talked to youth about problems occurring in the school system, they actually did quote quite a lot that it was professionals who were stymied from being able to help them for bills like this. So it's likely that a bill like this would continue to create that kind of culture of fear where teachers or administrators, anyone in the school that usually is there to help kids, isn't really able to, or they have their hands tied because what could they do that could be construed as implicit communication? It's a silly bill, it's a bad bill, it doesn't particularly do anything. For this bill, and I think for if we have quite a lot of these bills coming out, I'll give them a risk factor so you can basically tell how serious of a bill this is, how much focus and attention you need. This one is like a level 1, that's the smallest level. I'm gonna call it a kitty litter bill, like it's just not a real thing. You could potentially use this bill to attempt to enforce things, but it's kind of another bill that really just is what are the vibes in the room, and that's bad law. The other last thing I want to tell you about is I have a newsletter that is now going out, the Pulse newsletter, so basically kind of the show in an email version. It'll go out as frequently as it needs to. It could be anything that is big that happens, it'll get another thing that goes out. I don't imagine that's every day. I don't imagine that is, I think it might be less than, once a week. It'd be a couple times a week. Not sure. But I can show like an image of that here. And I just want to let you know that that's another way to connect and to be sure that you get these things, that you don't have to like wait or miss a show. You can tell some stuff is happening. So I will keep on doing it. That's what I got. I have something real to report. I'm a reporter or a news anchor or something. I don't know. I'm whatever you want me to be. I hope you have a good night and see you tomorrow. Yay, democracy.